The story begins as we witness a dimensional crack, from which a large, notorious celestial body from a different planet emerges on Earth. In the Dragon Kingdom's Linhai City, countless monsters have invaded and taken over, causing widespread disasters for humanity. Thankfully, our deity did not abandon humans. Instead, they bestowed upon them a baptism, marking appeared on the backs of all human hands as symbols of power, leading to the awakening of various special classes through these divine marks. Since then, mankind has entered a new era of class shifting. Among the divine powers, there are only 3 humanity-awakening classes of mythical powers. Due to their formidable strength, these 3 kingdoms have always been far ahead in their strategies concerning other worlds. Centuries passed, and a talented class shifter emerged in the Dragon Kingdom, Xiu Luo, the strongest man. He spent 10 years setting a new record in China, becoming the first adeptus of the 70th world. However, faced with numerous powerful monsters, including a level 9 beast that invaded their kingdom, Xiu Luo, the heroic class shifter, single-handedly defeated it, sacrificing his life to save his kingdom. Years later, on the 100th anniversary of Xiu Luo's heroic death, a memorial ceremony was held in the capital, Dragon City. The top class shifters from the Dragon Kingdom attended. Meanwhile, as news spread worldwide, the newscaster speculated about the birth of the next Xiu Luo. As this news was reported, a man lay in his bed, when suddenly, a mysterious system notification appeared. The system addressed him as an awakener, revealing that the doors to an alternate world were about to open, calling him to become a class shifter. Just as the system informed him of this, the man appeared lifeless next to medicine bottles. Suddenly the man awoke, hurrying to sit up, bewildered by his surroundings as he remembered his death. In that moment, memories flooded his mind, causing him pain. He realized he awakened a seemingly useless class in the world, leading his girlfriend to leave him. Despite working tirelessly, he faced continuous misfortune, including his brother's illness and the looming medical bills that needed urgent payment. And he never thought he would reincarnate as a person with the exact same name as him 100 years later. He realized in order to cultivate a powerful beast tamer, one must have enough wealth to take over a kingdom. For ordinary people, it's definitely not good news to awaken as a beast tamer. Saying that Zhang Yue, a good-for-nothing young man who failed in life, committed suicide while looking at the picture of the guy. Since he took over the body and awakened again, he will take up the responsibilities and regrets, conquering the alternate world where the weak fight for food, speaking that to the mirror, fist bumping him, saying to think of it as his gratitude for him, as saying that the system announces that the doors to an alternate world are about to open, and he commands him to open it up, and the portal begins to open as he goes through it. The system greets him, addressing him as class shifter Xiu Luo, and the system also says that he has been offline for 36,552 days. The system says that it was the 17th world and has given him total rewards of alternate energy. Congratulations to him on defeating the level 9 beast wave for the first time, and completing the mythical achievement into unparalleled rewards as his last battle of his previous life. He obtained a reward, a mythical treasure supreme oracle. Now this effect is active. As the buff activates, the system notifies him again, saying to him that he has obtained an additional 999 times the idle income. Hearing this, he was surprised and amazed at what he obtained. He could not believe that he obtained such a large amount of points. Again, the system notifies him that he obtained a class reset, and asks him to choose one of the 7 mythical core classes below: Warrior, Dark Swordsman, Assassin, Shadow Reaper, Priest, Holy Priest, Mage, Hellfire Mastery, Archer, Ghost Hunter, Beast Tamer, Necromancer. Saying that since he has been reincarnated and has millions of idle rewards, his first choice would be to become a Necromancer. Choosing it, the system congratulated him on becoming the 4th mythical core class in the alternate world, a Necromancer and an advanced Beast Tamer class. As since he started that life with a mythical class, he must clear the levels perfectly until the final world. Not only will he become the strongest in the Dragon Kingdom, but he will also be the #1 in the world. Now he comes into the first alternate world, Nightmare Source, and the system welcomes him there, saying that based on his login location, the system will match him with a safe area called Doomsday Town. It says a gentle reminder: fighting is prohibited in safe areas. asking him if he wants to continue using the ID, Shu Luo. If not, please confirm your new ID. Saying this, he commanded him to change the name to Zero, while he was looking at the town as he departed. There was also a new class shifter there, or shortly he could call this a newbie, while others were seemingly amazed, while others were highly to themselves and had their own business. The system announced that the first world quest has been announced and can be viewed on their mission interface. As they heard this, others seemed to ask for a team-up, while others didn't care. While he was there at the back checking the announcement, it says that WDRLD Duest 1, he needs to kill 1,000 monsters in total in the first world. After completing the world quests above, he can activate the first world boss dungeon channel, and defeating the boss, he can enter the second world. Reading this, he says that it seems like the regular layout of this alternate world hasn't changed much, and says that he needs to do first was to buy some equipment, and then do his quest. As he came to the equipment store, the store owner welcomed him, and asking him what does he need. While he was thinking about what he was going to choose, he remembered that the system's equipment store is the same as before, only providing some basic unrefined products. He offered some better quality to him. However, the owner said to him that it cost some more copper coins, while our MC, without saying anything, gave him a lot of coins, saying that was 100 copper coins, and asking the owner to give him the best quality of 1-star staff, as the owner gave the staff to him. The other players were amazed, and couldn't believe what they were seeing, and asking him why he was spending all his money on that worthy staff. As they asked that, our MC just said to them thanks for the reminder as it was nothing, and walked away there. While he was walking away there, the girl said that the only weapons with a higher star rating can refine their attributes. In those cases, he asks wouldn't the attack power be increased, while the guy explaining that refinement of equipment requires alternate energy, which can only be obtained in small amounts through killing monster spawns and quests, and says as such, a precious thing can't be upgraded enough. If anyone uses it to refine a 1-star staff, he thinks he might have a huge hole in his head, saying that. Others were talking about him, and they were laughing as they seemed that he was a loser, causing he spent all his money and has no defense at all, and says that he has no knowledge at all, no matter if it's here or outside, saying it's difficult to make progress without money. While they chit-chatting, while our MC now was far away from them, he says that for the average new class shifter, it's really not cost-effective to spend all their money on just 1-star equipment. But he says that it was shamed that he was not lacking person and not ordinary players. And he started to alternate the energy to refine and enhance it. As he upgrading it, the system says to him that the refinement consumes 1 point of alternate energy and has a 10% chance of being upgraded to a green attribute. The higher the attributes, the greater the refining consumption, and the lower the success rate, and asking him if he wants to refine it. But without further ado, he said yes to the system to refine it, and equipment was started to glow and was undergoing to enhance. But thankfully it was successfully upgraded, and the system notify him that the staff has been increased to the highest level, and the system congratulating him on obtaining the golden attribute, a Fire Herald staff, a staff born from flames. All enemies will be burned to ashes. Seeing this successful attempt, he said with confidence that he seems ready for his preparations for the battle, and saying that the show was going to begin. In the next panel, it shows the forest, and the nightmare of the new class shifters has just begun. We see a large and powerful wolf that the class shifter is attacking. Because of its powerful and domineering aura, the player seems scared and shocked, witnessing its power. He says that those low-level beasts have more health than them, and he can barely deal any damage to it. Suddenly, the beast's claws attack him while he dodges, and says that if they get hit, they are going to die. Suddenly, a large fireball appears and lands on the beast. The players are shocked by this unexpected event, while the system says that the Fire Herald staff's burning effect was triggered. The beast is shown on the ground, burning, while our MC stands there looking at it. Because he killed the level 1 giant mutant beast, he gains a substantial amount of experience points. He thinks that for a mythical class shifter, he has a buff full of basic attributes, including max-level equipment. He also notes that those with ordinary classes need to form a team to kill the beast. He says he can now kill those beasts one by one. The player looks at him with no idea what he is thinking. Seeing this, he asks his teammate about that wholly insane type of magic damage. His teammate says that the equipment he is holding is gold, which is why they think the guy is an expert, experienced class shifter. But the boy seems not to believe it, saying it is impossible because he thinks no one would have that much alternate energy to refine a beginner's staff in the early stages. While they chat about it, they say that whatever the case, they must not be suspicious of that guy, addressing him as a big boss. Our MC continues thinking that the level 1 beast gives too little experience. He says to ensure he gets maximum experience, he can only aim for higher level beasts. The ultimate boss of the first world is the level 10 Violent Boar King. He says that right now, the beasts above level 3 in the abandoned factory are his best choice. As he says this, he walks towards the factory. The players show interest in him, acting friendly, with a girl trying to seduce him by posing seductively and saying he is cute, asking him to take them with him. He responds that he can't and never wants to team up because he doesn't need it. He then excuses himself and walks past them. They feel a powerful aura from him, saying that his aura is scarier than the beasts they face. They discuss his direction and note that our MC is heading to the abandoned factory. They comment that they heard the beasts there are very high level and dangerous, wondering if he plans on fighting alone. They expect that he is the strongest person and doesn't go the usual route. Now, it shows our MC fighting beasts and killing all the monsters. He kills level 1 giant mutant rats, level 3 poisonous spiders, and other nearby monsters, gaining 30,000 experience alternate points. The system congratulates him, saying he leveled up and gained points to level up his skills, with additional points for attributes. His current level is now level 2, and the system says the next upgrade requires 250 experience points. He continues to kill the level 3 spider monster. The system congratulated him on leveling up to level 3, informing him that the next level required 1,000 experience points. After killing all the spiders, the system popped up again, congratulating him for unlocking the first skill bar and obtaining the initial skill, Fireball. He remarked that he never thought the upgrade bonus for the mythical class would be 6 times higher than that of ordinary classes. Having leveled up 3 consecutive times, he now had 18 attribute points to use freely. Before finishing his thought, he touched the screen and upgraded the Fireball to the max level. Happy about it, he said that the damage of an initial skill at max level could reach 140%. As he said this, the system congratulated him for upgrading his skill to Super Fireball, a grade A skill. He had now reached the highest skill quality of his current class level. The system asked him to continue upgrading his second class for Awakening. While analyzing his status skill, he noted that based on his progress, completing the first 2 world quests would allow him to reach level 8, which would be enough to challenge and complete the ultimate boss. Suddenly he heard a noise and noticed someone calling for help. He opened the door to find a heavily wounded warrior NPC named Carl, who had lost his leg. The MC wondered about the realism of this world, noting it wasn't much different from an ordinary game with missions and dungeons. Carl asked for help, saying his wife and children were killed by monster adventurers, and asked the MC to kill the cruel scorpions. The system notified him that the plot had been triggered, and asked if he wanted to accept the quest to destroy the scorpions. The MC felt good about it. The quest details showed that destroying the scorpions was a normal quest with a difficulty of 10. However, he noticed that monsters weren't the only things there. Completing the quest was his top priority, but the malicious look ahead excited him. He found it interesting that there was an intermediate monster of the first world, the armored scorpions, and remarked that it had been a long time since he had seen them. He observed that the armored scorpions had activated the skill armor, reducing his attack effect. As the monster rushed toward him, he got his staff ready to face them. He cast Fireball at its tail, hurting the monster. The monster activated its skill collision, but he rushed forward and cast a powerful Fireball, causing a large explosion. He successfully killed the armored scorpion, gaining 50,000 experience points and alternate energy. He remembered that when the number of normal armored scorpions decreased to a certain threshold, it would trigger the appearance of the armored scorpion emperor. As he thought about this, he continued killing all of them, knowing that the emperor scorpion would appear soon. The scorpion finally emerged, imitating a powerful bloodthirsty aura. He prepared to kill it, realizing he needed to defeat the big scorpion before his mana ran out. He cast a super fireball at the monster, but it was depleted and stopped by the monster's tail. Seeing the monster defend against his attack, He noted that its body was as thick as ever. The monster moved its tail and struck him, but he dodged and rushed forward, casting a powerful fireball aimed at the monster's head. The fireball successfully landed, scattering fire over the monster's body, and the Emperor Scorpion was defeated, collapsing to the ground. He remarked on his luck in immobilizing it right away, as his mana was nearly depleted. He only needed one last strike to complete his mission. However, an unexpected event occurred. Another player ambushed him from behind, planning to land an attack. It seemed this player had teammates ready to act, having planned this all along. But our MC was not a typical newbie player. He dashed to avoid the attack, surprising the ambusher who didn't expect it. In the midst of the chaos, our MC noted that he had anticipated their appearance. The ambusher was confused, and while our MC lectured them, he cast a powerful spell. He told them they chose the wrong target, as the enemies he had faced were 1,000,000 times stronger. The ambusher, scared, questioned how our MC could still use skills with depleted mana. Our MC responded by saying if he hadn't acted, the ambushers wouldn't have revealed themselves. He then triggered the Necromancer class effect Soul Harvest by killing the armored Emperor Scorpion. The system asked if he wished to absorb the armored Emperor Scorpion as his pet. Delighted by his luck, our MC agreed. As he absorbed it, his body emitted an aura that grew larger, scattering around him. The remaining ambusher, terrified, saw that our MC had become even more formidable. The system then congratulated our MC for receiving a normal-grade armored Emperor Scorpion pet, detailing its status. It was a defense-type pet, with a loyalty mechanism indicating that each death would decrease the pet's loyalty by 10. He realized that the reason beast tamers struggled to grow was that pets required the tamer's experience to level up, making it impossible for ordinary people. But he wasn't lacking in experience points, so he upgraded his pet fully. The armored Emperor Scorpion became an A-rank creature with a steel body. A witness, shocked and shouting, questioned how a normal beast tamer could possess such power. Our MC revealed that he had felt people spying on him in secret since he received the mission. Likely assassins preying on isolated people. They had planned to ambush him at the last critical moment to harvest the Scorpion King. The witness was shocked and began crying, realizing he was in trouble. He tried to flee, but our MC's pet stabbed him in the stomach as quickly as a blink. The witness begged for mercy, but the MC declared that in a world where the strong prey on the weak, one must be prepared to be preyed upon. The witness met his end, and an NPC congratulated the MC for his subjugation and avenging him, swearing to be a good brother from that day forth. The system congratulated the MC for completing his mission and gave him rewards. He received a magic necklace, a 1-star class item that granted powerful magic power, and armored leggings, also 1-star class, providing protection. The MC noted that the equipment came at a perfect time when he urgently needed mana. He fully upgraded his new equipment and felt happy about it, saying that with these items, his armored Scorpion and he could level up to level 5 even quicker. Suddenly, a notification announced to all players that a hidden secret realm, Doomsday City Level 5, had appeared near Doomsday Town and would last for 1 hour. Players were surprised, not expecting a secret realm there. Our MC said that it wasn't too far for him with his current abilities, and that he would claim the initial clear rewards. After hearing about this secret realm, everyone seemed to gather around, and this guy was asking them if they wanted to go with him, because the rewards were higher if they completed it. They could make a fortune there. While this guy warned them that entering as a level 5 was suicide, he also suggested they form a team to increase their chances. As they chatted, our boy in the back overheard their plans. While thinking about the number of people interested in challenging the secret realm, he noticed someone walking towards him. The person said he needed to get through, pushing him aside. He introduced the boy as the president. Others who saw this act of authority remarked that he seemed like a golden spoon boy, or Liu Yao, the richest man in the Liu family, who owned 3 large drugstores and had a network worth billions. Surprised by this knowledge, they commented that Mr. Liu was always high profile, noting that his subordinates wore a full set of 1-star equipment costing 10,000. Meanwhile, a girl noticed him and seemed shocked, asking why he was there. He remembered that the real owner of his body had an ex-girlfriend named Lin Yue'er. Mockingly, she approached him, saying an ordinary tamer like him who couldn't even pay his rent surely didn't have a plan to enter a level 5 secret realm. She asked if her guess was correct. Our boy looked at her with a serious face, asserting dominantly that if that was a problem. The girl was taken aback, not expecting him to speak to her like that, as she assumed he would beg for another chance, as before. She thought she could become a bootlicker to her man, saying that only strong men like their senior brother Yao were qualified to pass through that secret realm, and that he and everyone there shouldn't have such wishful thinking. In response, the rich brat guy touched her head, remarking that she seemed to feel bad about being dumped, didn't she? He also said that people should be self-aware and realize there was no point in holding back. While our boy responded, he seemed to sigh and say that the girl just handed him a worn-out shoe. He also told him that if she liked him, he should keep it. As for the secret realm, those with wishful thinking, before finishing his words, the girl seemed to become angry and told him to stop spouting nonsense to her brother Yao. She asked others that guy was arrogant and wanted to teach him a lesson. The girl shouted like a parrot, while our boy remained serious and looked at them, showing that he had no intention of sparing them if they continued with their plans. He urged them to cherish their lives first. The girl claimed that it was a bluff and told her man that the guy was weak and a piece of trash. Meanwhile, the rich brat sensed that the guy was strange and thought that his rank and class were not clearly visible, as if they were deliberately hidden. He raised his hand as a sign to forget it and walked away, saying that he was in a hurry to enter the secret realm and didn't have time to waste on him. He spared his life for now, and while entering the void gate, reached his hand out to them, showing off and giving them a glimmer of hope, albeit in a pathetic manner. He said that all those who had a scroll of resurrection should enter the secret realm with him, and they would receive an initial pass. Without thinking further, others hearing those words joined him. On the other side, a guy approached our boy, urging him to give up because they were poorer losers than the second-generation rich people. In response, our MC told him that if he also felt like a poor loser inferior to others, he should find ways to make himself stronger. While he thought that the real owner of his body, Zhang Yue, was poor, it had nothing to do with him because he was the strongest man, Xu Luo. While the guy was listening to what he said, he sighed and told him that he was still pretending. The other players mentioned that they had heard that everyone in the industry had a resurrection scroll worth 3,000 yuan each. They also chatted about how the scroll could be used up to 2 times within 7 days, giving the user 3 lives. They wondered if the initial pass belonged to the Supreme Guild. In the midst of discussing this, our boy mentioned that in the secret realm they had to face monstrous monsters and that his current strength was enough to deal with small mobs. However, he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to defeat the final monster unless his armored pets and he both reached level 5 and upgraded their equipment and skills. Despite these thoughts, he decided to enter the secret realm. Inside, the rich guy and his team were already there. Suddenly, the girl became angry, seemingly unsatisfied with what had happened. She asked why he didn't do anything while she was being bullied. He replied that there were too many people there, and if someone tarnished his Liu family's reputation by saying that Liu Yao deliberately killed a class shifter, it would be a great loss for him. As he confronted her by touching her ass, he assured her to relax because he would make sure that the useless beast tamer would kneel in front of her and apologize sooner or later. Upon hearing this, the girl seemed to calm down and thanked him, knowing that he would treat her the best. Meanwhile, our MC was grinding to level up and killing some mobs to quickly reach his goal of reaching level 5. He realized that the pets of an ordinary beast tamer required the same amount of experience as their owner, but he was thankful that a necromancer pet only required half. In the early stages, he only needed to kill a few mobs to upgrade his pet quickly. As he focused on this, he didn't notice that there were nobles watching him kill monsters. They asked if he was the poor loser who was fighting within Liu Yao just a moment ago. However, as they witnessed his power, they realized that he was a powerful guy who could instantly kill a level 5 monster. They admitted their mistake and felt the need to ridicule him. While he was still killing some mobs, 3 girls approached him and asked him to take them into a fight. They also offered to be his girlfriends and promised never to betray him. Without further ado, he walked away and refused their offer, much to their embarrassment. As he walked towards the area, the system announced that the quest would begin in 10 minutes, and everyone seemed to be getting prepared. Meanwhile, our boy was thinking about upgrading the defense of his pet to serve as a human shield for him while he focused on dealing damage. He upgraded his armored scorpion pet and mentioned that when combined with equipment that quickly restored mana, his fireball skills could achieve continuous fire, improving the efficiency of killing monsters. Confidently, he entered the Void Gate, knowing that 10 minutes would be more than enough for him. In the secret realm, an intense battle was taking place, and it seemed that the rich brat was struggling to defeat the Lord Scorpion. His right-hand man mentioned that the monster was level 7, and their group of Grade 2 class shifters were merely there to make up the numbers. Unfortunately, all their members had died. The Lickbooter's girl remarked that the monsters were so strong that they couldn't defeat them and suggest to escape before the monsters caught up to them. Agreeing with her, the guy grabbed the scroll of resurrection, suggesting that they should use it now and leave before they died there. Just then, the rich boy sensed that someone had shown up. As they looked up, they realized there was someone there. The guy asked him why he was there, and commented that he was just a mere Grade 5 level. He also asked if he was not afraid of dying. While he was just smiling as if nothing was wrong, the rich brat appeared offended and grew angry, shouting like a lunatic and mocking him. He called our boy an idiot who overestimates himself and suggested he should die in the secret realm. They used their scroll of resurrection and banished him while our boy was left alone. Facing the Lord Scorpion monster, he remarked that finally they were gone, allowing him to focus on killing it. As the monster started to move, he summoned his pets to counter its attacks. The two clashed fiercely while he retrieved his staff and cast a spell, launching a fireball at the monster, which seemed as hard as steel. The monster retaliated with its tail, but thankfully, his pet covered him. Not wasting any time, he cast several super fireballs, affecting the monster, which started to lose consciousness. Seizing the opportunity, our boy attacked again, eventually defeating the monster, which crashed to the ground. He stood over its body with a domineering air, remarking how easy it was, like a piece of cake. Afterward, the system notification congratulated him and awarded a secret scroll. It also announced to all players that the Secret Realm quest had been successfully completed. Everyone was surprised and amazed that one player could achieve such a feat. They were curious about the player called Zero, chatting excitedly about it. Meanwhile, the rich boy and his sycophantic girl were in shock. The girl couldn't believe how a supposed loser could kill such a high-level monster. She asked the rich boy if it was possible for someone at level 6 or 7 to do it. Confused, he mentioned that his ex-boyfriend might have been involved, but the girl didn't believe him, thinking it impossible. He agreed with her, suggesting there were others involved, since killing the Lord Scorpion wasn't something an ordinary person could do. He then commanded his subordinates to find the player named Zero and recruit him into their guild at any cost, recognizing his exceptional abilities, and to work for him. Now, as our boy has finished killing the Lord Scorpion, he finds a copper coin and blueprint equipment in the surroundings that drop of the monster. However, he says the most important item was the scroll. This scroll is level 5, of high quality, and a secret scroll that can be upgraded with just a few $1,000s. He upgrades it, and his system congratulates him for turning it into a silver scroll. As he examines it, he notes that it's his first time seeing a secret king-level scroll in the first world. He remarks that it costs 1,000 and would be very expensive for an ordinary class shifter. Clenching his fists, he declares that his goal is to succeed in the alternate world. His system then displays a new quest, a bounty mission to rescue a survivor. The quest has a king-level difficulty for simply escorting an NPC. The system adds that he needs to find Aelin and bring her to the safe zone in the Doomsday towns. If he fails, the task will disappear permanently. The system gives him 12 hours and shows him a map. He notices it's a level 10 map, while he is only level 5. He realizes that wild boars usually appear in groups, making them difficult to deal with. Despite this, he decides that finding Aelin is his top priority and sets out on his quest. In the middle of the forest, a young girl is chasing a boar and asking for help. Fortunately, our MC arrives just in time and kills the boar with fire. He discovers that the girl is Aelin, and the system congratulates him for finding her while displaying the remaining time. The boar, still not dead, goes berserk and roars loudly. Our MC, noticing that the wild boar is getting restless, realizes the situation might be related to his mission. As the boar charges at them, he quickly casts a fireball, but the roar attracts more boars, surrounding them. With no other options, he summons his pet to protect them, and orders it to block the wild boars. Meanwhile, he casts powerful spells to deal with the boars. As he kills some, he notices his mana depleting quickly. The little girl asks if he is okay, and he assures her he will get her back to her hometown. Just then, a wild boar breaks through and attacks him. The boar is in a berserk state, making his fireball attack ineffective. Fortunately, his health is high enough to withstand the attack, but his pet is also struggling. Realizing the bounty mission is more difficult than anticipated, he levels up twice in a row and decides to upgrade his attack. After equipping the Glory Lord Battle Ring, he casts an incredibly powerful fireball at the wild boar, causing a massive explosion. The system rewards him with alternate energy points. He praises his upgraded attack, noting that he now needs only 2 shots to kill a boar instead of 7 or 8. Exhausted from the mana drain, he thinks that completing his mission will mean sending the young girl to the town. Suddenly, 2 individuals appear, surprised to see he is still alive. Our MC responds, saying he doesn't have time for them. He mentions that his ex-girlfriend seems happy to be rid of him, and has asked her wealthy acquaintance to teach him a lesson. The wealthy brat claims he spared MC last time but insists it's time to settle the score, drawing his sword. With a serious expression, our MC tells him to bring it on. The wealthy brat swings his sword, but the attack only leaves a minor scratch on MC's shoulder. The attackers, astonished by the lack of effect, question how this is possible. Our MC then asks if they are done and says it's his turn. Luo laughed and replied to Liu Yao, "Are you done? Because now it's my turn to attack." Luo retrieved his Glory Lord Battle Ring and prepared to cast a powerful fireball. Combining the power of the rings, he created a massive fireball to hurl at Liu Yao. Seeing the fiery projectile, Liu Yao became terrified and pleaded with Luo. "I'm the president of the Supreme Guild and the eldest son of the Liu family, the richest man in Linhai. If you're going to attack me..." But Luo didn't let him finish his sentence. He hurled the fireball directly at Liu Yao, sending him flying. Liu Yao couldn't believe he had lost to Luo with just 1 strike. As Liu Yao died, his body disappeared, leaving only his golden armor behind. Luo received a notification. Professional Supreme Star Glory initiated an attack on you. The other party was now grayed out. If you kill a grayed out professional within 10 minutes, you won't receive sin points. Luo laughed and called Liu Yao a fool. In the alternate world, professionals' names are usually white. When these professionals maliciously attack other white professionals, the aggressor becomes grayed out for a short period. During this time, the victim's resistance is considered legitimate defense and doesn't accumulate sin points. If the victim fails to resist and is killed, the assailant turns red and gains 100 sin points. Under these rules, entering the safe zone is forbidden for the assailant, who can only exit by killing enough monsters to clear the sin points or waiting for their own demise. When a professional dies, they lose not only their level and experience, but also leave behind a significant amount of equipment and props. Upon Liu Yao's death, Luo picked up his golden armor. Lin Yue was shocked to witness Luo killing Liu Yao with just 1 strike, wondering when Luo had become so powerful. When she saw Luo approaching her, fear gripped her, and she instinctively backed away. Trembling, she asked him, "What do you want?" Her anxiety stemmed from the fact that she could only use 2 resurrection scrolls within 7 days, and she had already expended one to escape from the secret realm. If she used the second one now, she wouldn't have another chance later. As these thoughts raced through her mind, she called out to Luo, "Since we parted ways, I've never forgotten you." However, Luo didn't even spare her a glance. He walked straight past her with little Aelin. Glancing at Lin Yue, Luo realized that she hadn't made a move. Had she attacked Aelin, it would have jeopardized the mission. Now he couldn't afford to waste time on insignificant adversaries. With that resolve, Luo left the scene with little Aelin, leaving Lin Yue seething in anger. Through gritted teeth, she vowed, "Luo, how dare you ignore me? Just wait." Entering the safe zone, Luo escorted little Aelin back to her home. Grateful, she thanked him for saving her. Almost immediately, a system notification congratulated Luo on completing the King Grade Bounty mission, Rescue Survivors. The rewards included 10,000 experience points, 20 silver coins, 20 super silver coins, and 5,000 energy points. Additionally, he acquired the Ice Stick, a level 8, 2-star quality, white attribute weapon, along with a skill book called Small Ice Cone Technique, and a normal grade pet egg. Eager to explore his new acquisitions, Luo inspected the Ice Stick in his inventory. This weapon, with its ice-based power, increased magic attack strength by 25. As its attributes surpassed the blue grade, it promised potent freezing damage. Satisfied, Luo requested the system to refine the Ice Stick. The system refined the Ice Stick 144 times with a single click, consuming a total of 22,356 energy points. The system congratulated Luo on obtaining the golden attribute destroyer, the Frost Scepter. He felt elated, recognizing the increased power of this staff. As he remarked, the higher the equipment quality, the more energy it consumes during refinement. Fortunately, energy expenditure posed no issue for him. Suddenly, Luo recalled that among the rewards he had just received, there was also a pet egg. Upon closer inspection, he noted that this green egg was a normal grade pet egg. Checking his inventory, Luo realized he already possessed several eggs collected during battles with monsters. Uninterested in those eggs, he decided to feed them all to the armored scorpion, whose eyes gleamed with anticipation. As Luo fed the eggs to the armored scorpion, system notifications appeared. Your normal level pet, the armored scorpion, with 10 evolutions remaining, has devoured your normal level pet, the frenzied boar. The current evolution value is 1 out of 10. These messages continued as the armored scorpion consumed more eggs. Finally, another notification congratulated Luo on his pet's evolution. His normal level armored scorpion had transformed into an elite level silver armored scorpion. The scorpion's color shifted to silver during this evolution. The armored emperor scorpion, a normal level physical defense type monster bound to Luo, exhibited unwavering loyalty at 100 points. However, each pet death decreased loyalty by 10 points, and restoration was impossible once it reached 0A. Rebellion would follow. Currently, the armored scorpion stood at level 8, requiring 100 experience points for the next level. Its iron armor passive skill granted a 5% reduction in damage taken, while the silver armor defense boosted its overall defense by 10%. Additionally, the scorpion possessed an anti-armor elite pet unique effect. 30% of damage inflicted upon it would be reflected back to the attacker. Pleased, Luo patted the armored scorpion, acknowledging its progress. With a 2-star staff and the silver armored scorpion, along with the golden equipment contributed by Liu Yao, Luo felt prepared to face the ultimate boss in the first alternate world. But before that, Luo stated that he needed to return and replenish some supplies. With that intention, he opened the teleportation portal and departed from the alternate world. Arriving back in his apartment, the same location he had teleported from earlier, Luo's phone immediately began ringing. He answered, and on the other end, a doctor addressed him. Mr. Zhang Yue, for the last time, I'd like to remind you that if you don't settle the 390,000 medical expenses owed by your brother, Zhang Zhao, the hospital will cease all treatment for him. Determined, Luo requested the hospital's payment card number and promised to call back within 10 minutes. In the meantime, he contemplated selling a few pieces of golden equipment from his inventory to easily earn a few million. Saving the original owner's brother could also be seen as repayment for inhabiting this body. However, when Luo attempted to sell the items, a system notification warned him that all his equipment was bound and couldn't be traded or dropped. Luo's surprise grew as he read the notification. The negative effect of the 10,000 times increase buff had caught him off guard. Now that his equipment couldn't be traded, even selling all his existing silver coins would yield only about 10,000. He needed a way to make more money. He picked up his phone and began searching for high-paying jobs. In a group chat, one person offered to sell a gold coin from the 8th world for 2,000 yuan, while another quoted 2,000 yuan for the same coin. Meanwhile, someone sought a coach for his first world newbie sister, offering 200 yuan per hour plus an additional 100 yuan for each level up. Luo knew that regular trainers charged by the hour, but the slow income didn't interest him. Then, something caught his eye, a surprising request from someone named Rimuro. they offered a hefty sum of 300,000 wen to hire Luo as a coach for Linhai City's newest professional. Curious, one user dismissed it as an outrageous sparring partner, likely a scam. However, another user argued that scammers couldn't pass the official verification on the alternate world forums. Intriguingly, a user with a pig-faced account photo revealed that this post surfaced annually when new professions awakened. The twist? Everyone who accepted the reward supposedly met an untimely end. Undeterred, Luo dialed the number, a smile playing on his lips. A life-threatening challenge sounded oddly appealing.
Afterward, the scene shifts to a girl seated in front of multiple computer screens, responding to Luo's call. He asks, "What are the specific requirements for the 300,000 yen reward for training on the forum?" The lady on the other end begins explaining. Requirement 1. You must be a newly certified professional this year. Requirement 2. You need to guide a designated person through the first world. Luo responds confidently, "Got it. Whether it's the first world or the second, it's no problem." He starts to mention that he wants the 300,000, but she interrupts. "Once the task is completed, I can offer you 400,000. Intrigued, Luo inquires, "When does it start?" "In 10 minutes, she replies. "Someone will be waiting for you at the Resurrection Fountain in Doomsday Town." Luo then arrives at the Resurrection Fountain in Doomsday Town. As he enters the area, he reflects on how his original goal was merely to clear the first world, and now he could earn 400,000 just by guiding one person. This seems like an incredible deal. A guaranteed win. At that moment, something catches Luo's eye. A woman in a hooded robe approaches him while others watch from a distance. Luo asks, "Is this the trainee?" She nods in confirmation. The crowd murmurs, "Isn't she the misfortune mage?" It's true, she always wears that outfit and never speaks. Could it be that the weak player next to her has taken on that mission? What a fool. People today really value money more than their lives. They exchange glances after hearing the crowd's remarks, but Luo remains focused on the task at hand. He instructs her to quickly assemble a team so they can complete the world mission together. The system announces, "The other party has hidden their ID and joined the team." Luo then explains, "To clear the first world, you need to complete 2 prerequisite tasks, defeat 1,000 monsters, and collect 10 coins. Do you understand?" She hesitates, unsure how to respond. He continues, "In this world, professionals can't deal mandatory damage to monsters that are 5 levels higher than themselves. Even if you reduce a monster's health to just 1 drop, it's useless if you can't finish it off." The system indicates that she is level 1. Luo summons his staff and says, "Let's tackle the prerequisite tasks first, and I'll help you level up in the process." He then casts a frost skill on a monster, dealing 389 points of damage and freezing it in place. With a confident smile, he says, "The skill book he got from the last mission may not be as strong as Fireball, but as a control skill, it's still pretty useful." He then glances at her and asks, "What are you daydreaming about? Go finish off the enemy." She hesitates, confused, but follows his instructions. She begins to channel a spell, and a purple glow surrounds her as she concentrates. With a powerful surge, she unleashes the spell on the frozen monster, shattering it into pieces with a burst of energy. System windows pop up. "Congratulations on leveling up. Congratulations on leveling up. Congratulations on leveling up." She's amazed, wondering how she could level up 3 times in a row. She's so focused on the notifications that she doesn't notice the monster coming to attack her. Luo yells, "Watch out!" He grabs her just in time, pulling her out of the way as they slide along the ground. Luo quickly retaliates with a powerful fireball spell, launching a massive burst of flame at the monster. The fireball hits its mark, engulfing the creature in flames. As Luo checks to confirm the monster is dead, she places her hand on his chest, still catching her breath. She gazes at him with deep admiration, seeing him as her savior. Luo, oblivious to her emotions, urges her to get up quickly and head to the next leveling point. She nods in agreement. This job is worth 400,000, Luo remarks, then asks, "How old are you?" She holds up her fingers to indicate her age. 21? Luo responds. People usually awaken their profession at 18. You should have entered the other world 3 years ago. Why is your level still so low? Suddenly, she stops walking. Luo, puzzled, asks, "What's wrong?" She removes her hood, thanks Luo for leveling her up, and says, "You can leave now. As compensation, I'll give you 10,000 yuan. And please, don't tell my sister." Luo, confused, remarks that he thought she couldn't speak. With a reassuring tone, he says, "Don't worry. Since I promised your sister, I'll definitely take you through the first world." In fear, she replies, "Didn't you hear what those people said? I'm the body of misfortune, the star of disaster. If we stay together, I'll bring you nothing but trouble." Luo, curious, asks, "Actually, I was a bit curious earlier. What does the body of misfortune mean?" In a state of panic, she responds, "It's the evil master, someone who is out to harm people." Just then, a group of players arrives and announces, "The forum says that anyone who takes on her mission is doomed to die, but whoever kills her will gain a lot of experience and supernatural powers." One member of the group declares, "Let's go and enforce justice today," stating that. The girl warns Luo, saying that those people are usually level 5 or 6 and we can't compete with them. "They're coming for me, so please leave while you can." Summoning his staff with a determined look, Luo replies, "You want to take my 400,000? Did you get my permission?" Suddenly a voice interrupts, "Wow, this is going to be an exciting group fight." It turns out to be Liu Yao and his guild, marching in with the confidence of seasoned warriors. The other group murmurs, "Boss, isn't that Liu Yao, the richest man in Linhai? Are they here to take us down? We can't compete with them." The boss of the group steps forward, trying to appease the situation. "Brother Liu, Master Liu, we have no intention of offending you. If you're also here to eliminate these people—" But Liu Yao cuts him off. "Shut up." Liu Yao strides up to Luo and jabs a finger into his chest. "Oh, it's you. What a coincidence meeting you here." Unflinching, Luo taunts back, "Oh, are you here to hand me more equipment? If I'm not mistaken, you can't use the resurrection scroll for another 7 days, right?" Liu Yao smirks and signals his team to attack. His guild, hearing the command, quickly readies themselves, gearing up for the confrontation with Luo and the girl.
As Luo, entirely unfazed by Yao's words, looked at them with a calm and confident demeanor, while the girl stood behind him, making such a conscious effort to appear brave. Despite this tension of atmosphere, Yao watched in confusion, unable to understand why they seemed so prepared and cautious, and he couldn't comprehend their behavior, so feeling uncertain about what was unfolding. His team members cast hard, menacing looks at the two, their gazes filled with killing intent. Yao noticed this and turned to see his team with weapons drawn, ready for a fight. The tension was palpable. Everyone was clearly prepared for combat. In a fit of anger, Yao struck his second-in-command on the back of the head, yelling that they were supposed to grab the weapons, not draw them, calling them fools. The other two members watched in shock at the sudden outburst. Regaining control, Yao gathered his group and took the time to explain his plan in detail. As he laid out his strategy, his team began to understand what he meant and how they were supposed to proceed. As they executed the plan, Yao's people started positioning themselves on Luo's right side. Luo remained calm, observing everything, while she watched with evident fear. From his left, more of Yao's team appeared, effectively surrounding them. Luo stood ready for battle, while she, fearing what was about to happen, stepped closer, keeping close to his back. Suddenly, Yao's team presented gifts, each person leaning forward with the offerings held out in front of them, eyes cast down to the ground. Luo, anticipating a battle, was caught off guard, unable to believe what was happening. She hid behind his back, trembling with fear and confusion, unsure of what to make of the situation. Panic-stricken, she screamed at him, demanding to know what was going on. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and told her to be quiet, explaining that everything was going according to his plan and that she needed to stay calm. Yao, with a joyful smile, jumped behind one of his team members and remarked that he knew Luo wasn't afraid of a fight, so he decided to win him over with gifts instead. His team members looked confused. They were warriors, not butlers. Lin, watching from the back, remained puzzled, struggling to understand what was happening. Yao gave it his all, putting on his best charm as if he were trying to woo someone. He flashed a winning smile, gave Luo a thumbs up, and mentioned that the gifts were rare items he had carefully selected with Luo in mind. He assured Luo that he had chosen them with all his heart. Yao continued with his offer, stating that if Luo joined his guild, he could keep the items and also receive a generous salary. Despite the enticing proposal, Luo maintained a poker face, showing no emotion or reaction to Yao's words. Undeterred by Luo's lack of response, Yao confidently announced that the salary would be 50,000 a month. Lin, astonished, immediately pointed out that the amount was too high. At the same time, someone from the other group, amazed by the offer, showed interest in joining as well. Lin stepped forward, remarking with confidence that he was so poor he could only afford dirt to eat. He urged Luo to accept the offer, pointing out that it would take him 10 years to earn that much on his own. He insisted that Luo should join obediently. In her mind, she thought that if she could help Gao get Luo to join, she would have plenty of opportunities to get back at him and teach him a lesson. With an evil smile, she imagined herself triumphantly beating Luo. In her mind, her true nature revealed itself, her expression turning sinister as she laughed, convinced her plan was brilliant. With a confident smile, he remarked that he only respects those who are stronger than him. Playfully, he teased her, adding that he wouldn't mind if they used force, suggesting it might even change his mind. Her face flushed with anger, as she demanded to know how he could be so crazy as to refuse, insisting that someone like him could never earn that much in a month. She added that a poor guy like him had no right to refuse. With a smirk, he closed his eyes and mockingly commented that dogs have packs to show strength, but not everyone wants that life. Some prefer to live as humans, not dogs. In response, she barked back at him in anger. Luo stepped forward, saying that if they didn't want to fight, they should move out of the way. Lin shouted back, warning that they might still engage him in a fight. Meanwhile, Yao's guild watched the commotion, waiting for further orders. With a look of disappointment, Yao instructed his guild to let them go. He watched as Lu passed by, clearly dissatisfied with how the situation had unfolded. Lin, trying to manipulate the situation to her advantage, screamed at Yao, questioning whether he was really going to let them go when they clearly weren't taking him seriously. She emphasized how their lack of respect was unacceptable and urged Yao to reconsider. His gaze turned cold as he reminded her that he had already said they were free to go, suggesting she might need to clean her ears. She quickly reverted to her weak and cute demeanor, nodding in agreement with his decision. A team member spoke up, recalling that Luo was the brat who had killed him before, and remarked that Yao had been generous to overlook it. He argued that Luo's disrespect warranted punishment, even suggesting that Yao should kill him. But before he could finish, a fist slammed into his face. Yao, emanating a dark and menacing aura, coldly stated that the team member didn't understand anything. His voice was icy and authoritative, making it clear that the situation was far beyond the man's comprehension. Then, as if flipping a switch, Yao's face lit up with delight as he enthusiastically became a fan of Luo. He explained that things hard to get are the most valuable, while those easily obtained hold little worth. Lin, trying to take advantage of the situation, pushed her ample assets against Yao's arm. His attention briefly shifted to her, and she demanded to know why he had broken his earlier promise to handle Luo without consulting her first. Yao explained that after being defeated by Luo, he rethought his plans and priorities. With a firm gaze, he grabbed her chin and reminded her how she had always pointed out how poor he was and how he couldn't afford anything. Then, with a smirk, he asked how a poor beast tamer could inflict such high damage. She looked at him, bewildered and frightened. He recalled the powerful aura Luo had emitted and remarked that someone with such an aura was no ordinary player. He concluded that he had to use every resource at his disposal to recruit Luo into his guild and make him work for him. Lin gritted her teeth, convinced that Luo was nothing special. She believed she knew him better than anyone and considered him worthless. Refusing to accept that Luo had become so powerful, she vowed with wild determination to make him kneel before her again, no matter what it took. The scene shifts deeper into the forest, with mountains looming in the background and a full moon shining above. Luo and she are now farther into the woods. She pauses for a moment and expresses her gratitude to Luo for protecting her back then. He keeps walking and comments that there's no need for thanks, because if she had died, where would he find another for 100,000? Unsure how to respond, she thinks over his comment thoughtfully as they continue walking together. With uncertainty in her eyes, she looks away and suggests he forget about this task, claiming he won't be able to complete the quest. He looks at her and asks why she would post a quest on the forums if she wasn't confident from the start. He mentions that she can back out if she wants, but asks why she's so intent on entering the other world. She explains that she had given up on the quest a long time ago, and it was actually her sister who posted it. Telling him to hold on for a moment, she opens her status window, revealing that she is afflicted with a cursed body. Luo examines the stat window and sees that, as a cursed mage, she can only team up with one person. Their lives are linked. If one dies, both die, and their levels reset. Disbanding the team resets her level, but doesn't affect the teammate. The curse can only be broken by clearing the first world, and if someone else kills her, they gain significant experience. Luo is caught off guard by the new information, but quickly grasps the implications of her unique condition. He understands that there are life and core professions. But this new information makes him realize that hers is something entirely different. A unique, special profession. If she can manage to overcome its restrictions, she might be able to achieve something far beyond what's typically possible. There's a chance she could break through the current limitations and advance to a higher-level profession, potentially even evolving into a legendary or mythical one. However, he knows that most people can't achieve this due to the stringent restrictions. As a result, they often fade into obscurity, their efforts forgotten. With a look of sadness and despair, she tells him that since awakening this special profession 3 years ago, she has tried hundreds of times without success. To make matters worse, in the other world, she can't team up with anyone more than 10 levels above her. With frustration in her voice, she asks how the two of them, with a maximum of 10 levels each, could possibly defeat the boss of the first world. He looks down at her as she begins to cry, overwhelmed by the thought that she'll never complete the quest. She tells him to just leave her behind. Luo, however, tells her to consider what would happen if he could actually clear the quest for her. He suggests that, despite the challenges, he believes he can achieve what she thinks is impossible. He assures her that he will be able to take her to the other world. As she stops crying, with tears still visible, she begins to grasp the full impact of his words. She screams in disbelief, her face showing intense shock as she struggles to process the enormity of what she's just heard. Panicking, she clutches his jacket tightly, tears still in her eyes, and asks him, her voice trembling, if he's really being serious. Gripping his arm tightly, her mind races, reflecting on the long 3 years of suffering she's endured. She recalls the countless times she dreamed of escaping this cursed profession and becoming someone powerful and feared. Despite everything, she clings to the hope that this time, things might finally change. As she holds on to this fragile hope, Luo reaches for her hand, offering comfort and reassurance. With a gentle smile, he gazes into her eyes and warmly tells her not to waste any more time. He encourages her to face this challenge together, promising that they will conquer the first world mission as a team.